all you need to know. The Bloomberg Quint podcast that prepares you for the day's business.
Brought to you by Small Cases. Invest in ready-made portfolios created by professionals.
Good morning. You're listening to the Daily Morning Update from Bloomberg Quint and I'm Alex Matthew. Thanks so much for tuning in. Today is the 30th of October. Here's everything that you need to know. The Committee of Secretaries under the Cabinet Secretary of the Government of India will examine all aspects of the financial stress faced by India's telecom service providers and recommend a package for the sector, according to a government official who spoke to Bloomberg Quint. This is in response to representations made by telecom majors including Bharti Airtel and Vodafone Idea, which sought a reduction and deferment of dues in the face of the Supreme Court's verdict on adjusted gross revenue. India is only facing a temporary slowdown, and the recent measures by the government will help reverse the downturn in the coming quarters, according to Mukesh Ambani, Chairman and Managing Director at Reliance Industries. He said this at a summit in Saudi Arabia yesterday. His comment comes even as India's GDP grew at its slowest pace in 6 years in the quarter ended June, which is also reflected in private consumption as Indians cut spending on everything from biscuits and shampoos to appliances and cars. But speaking of cars, Anand Mahindra, the chairman of the Mahindra Group, says that the festive season has been very good for his company. In an interview with Bloomberg TV, he said that Mahindra's sales had grown in double digits compared with last year. He also went on to say that Mahindra has cut excess inventory during the festive season, and domestic car makers in India are now looking ahead to the rest of the season with hope. Watch out for the auto sales data at the end of this week. We'll be able to study the entire picture once those come in. In the aviation space, Indigo has placed an order for 300 Airbus narrow-body planes that are worth more than $33 billion at sticker price. The contract for the A320neo series jets includes the latest XLR long-range variant and takes Indigo's orders for the re-engined aircraft to 730, according to a joint statement by the two companies. Make My Trip India, Ibibo Group and Oyo Group face an investigation by the Competition Commission of India for alleged misuse of dominance and for cartelization. The CCI ordered a probe based on a complaint by the Federation of Hotel and Restaurant Association of India and has directed its investigation arm to submit its report within 150 days. In the banking space, the Reserve Bank of India has imposed a fine of 1 crore rupees on private sector lender Bandhan Bank for not complying with the central bank's promoter shareholding norms. According to the RBI's guidelines, Bandhan Bank was required to bring down the shareholding of its non-operative financial holding company to 40% within 3 years from the date of commencement of its business. In other news, Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Tuesday pressed for reforms at the United Nations while expressing regret over some countries using the global body as a tool rather than an institution to resolve conflicts. In international news, UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson has eventually won the necessary backing in Parliament for an election in an attempt to resolve the Brexit crisis that has paralysed the country's politics, weighed on its economy and left its citizens angry and divided. The vote on the 12th of December will be the third time the UK has gone to the polls to choose a new government in just 4.5 years. In the US, in the most direct intervention yet to manage trade and production, the Trump administration wants to dictate how and where global auto companies make cars and parts, according to people familiar with the effort. That's a Bloomberg report. The issue is being discussed between Trump administration officials, congressional staff, and domestic and international automakers. The White House wants specific language that would allow it to unilaterally administer the production rules for companies, but the companies, lawmakers, and even the U.S. International Trade Commission have cautioned that the rules are so strict that they would result in higher car prices and lost sales. In international markets, US markets ended lower yesterday, with the Dow losing about 0.1% and the S&P 500 ending lower by a similar amount. The Nasdaq dropped as much as 0.6%. In Asia too, the mood is a bit grim going into trade today, with the three early risers all beginning with cuts. The Nikkei 225 in Japan had cuts of as much as 0.5% when I checked last. With that, it's over to Darshan Mehta for the trade setup for the day in India. Good morning, Darshan. How are we looking today?
Hi Alex, good morning everyone. Global cues are muted at this point of time. The SX Nifty is indicating a mild positive outlook, but no major Nifty earnings today, but some of the mid caps like Graphite India, Tata Chemicals, Tata Global Beverages, Container Corp, Credit Axis, Grameen, Quest Corp, Ramco Cement, Mishra Dhatu Nigam, all these companies will report numbers today. Among the numbers that were reported yesterday after market hours, Petronet LNG numbers were above estimates. The EBITDA beat was driven by significant ramp up of the Dahej terminal. Most of the growth at Dahej was from the higher tolling based gas sales, and Dahej capacity was above estimates while Kochi was in line. The PAT boost was due to a reversal of deferred tax liability with a new lower tax rate. They declared a special interim dividend of 5.5 per share, which is close to 4% dividend yield. SKF India weak set of numbers, revenues down 2.5%, EBITDA down 23%. The net profit was flat and the PAT was aided by lower tax while the raw material cost dented the operating performance. Tata Metallics also revenues down 6%, EBITDA down 52%, profit down 50%. The financials were impacted by higher employee cost as well as other expenses. The pig iron segment revenues were down 14%. The ductile iron pipe segment revenues were up 11%. Bharti Airtel announced the second quarter operational update. The India Mobile business revenues were in line with estimates. The India Mobile ARPUs was at 128 rupees, which was a positive surprise. The 4G additions were in line with the recent trends. There was stable wireless and enterprise business, while DTH business was positive. There's a conference call today at 2:30. Interglobe Aviation placed orders for 300 A320neo family aircraft. The total number of Airbus A320neo aircraft order now stands at 730, and now it's a mix of A320neo, A321neo and A321 XLR aircraft, and which now indicates that by ordering the XLR aircraft, Indigo has showcased its intention to fly long-haul destinations. HDFC Life Insurance will be in focus. Standard Life has offered the company's share at a price band of 562 to 575 per share, which is a discount of 6 to 8%. And Standard Life seeks $600 million for the placement in HDFC Life business shares. Bandhan Bank will be in focus. RBI imposed a penalty of 1 crore on the bank. Lakshmi Vilas Bank, Motilal AMC sold in 43 lakh shares in the company. Capri Global acquired 75 lakh shares. And finally, Citi has come out with a brokerage report on Indian hospitals. They believe that the investment phase is ending and the ROCE improvement will drive re-rating. Apollo Hospitals, they maintain a buy and raise the target price to 1970. While they've initiated on Narayana Hrudayalaya with a target price of 350, and they've initiated on Healthcare Global with a target price of 170. But there's much more you need to know before trade actually starts. For that, log on to our website bloombergquint.com and click on the All You Need to Know tab, and you will be prepared for morning trade.
Thanks, Darshan. And as always, thank you all for listening in. That's all we have for you in this podcast, but do remember there's a lot more on the website bloombergquint.com, so do check it out. This is Alex Matthews signing off. Have a great day.
I hope you enjoyed listening to All You Need to Know. Did you know that you could listen to the show on the IVM Podcast app? On the IVM Podcast app, along with this, we have a number of other shows which you think you'll enjoy. Listen to Cyrus Says with Cyrus Brocha as the host. Listen to Paisa Vaisa with Anupam Gupta. The Scene and the Unseen with Amit Verma. Or Shunya One hosted by Shiladitya Mukhopadhyay and myself. Check out the IVM Podcast app to get more talk content that you will enjoy.